morning. The sun is almost out because of daylight savings. It's around that time of year when the semester is in full swing and I've got to document it somehow. This semester I'm finishing up undergrad, so I'll still be here next year, technically not fully graduating, but it's still been a very different kind of lifestyle from what I was used to when I was taking like real classes. Now it feels very, very freeing in a sense. There's still a lot of work to get done, don't get me wrong. I'm still quite busy, but it's definitely a different lifestyle and a pretty fun one too, especially with having a lot of my friends graduating as well. It's a little bit bittersweet to think that they're gonna leave soon, but it's also nice kind of knowing that we made it through all these 4 years together, and from there we'll see what happens. Day before I go back home for spring break, so very much looking forward to that. A little bit of a busy day today, but what day isn't? This is a day in the life of a graduating senior at Georgia Tech. Thanks to the amazing planning of past Sujin, this semester I'm only taking 2 classes, my senior capstone and an asynchronous health class. Because of that, I've been able to spend a lot more time on other things, including a part-time job, research work, a case competition, and most importantly, the gym. I usually go into work around 10 a.m., which gives me a lot of time in the morning to work out. This has definitely been one of my more consistent semesters at the gym. Part of that is because I can just go downstairs for it in the morning, instead of having to go to the CRC in between classes. On top of that, I've been going more this semester with a friend that lives in the building, which has made the gym sessions more entertaining, though he didn't show up today, so I'll have to check in on that later. If you know me, you know I'm a big morning person, so having this much time to get stuff done before my day actually starts is amazing. But I'm also realizing this is probably the most convenient morning routine I'll have for a while, considering I'll be back taking real classes next semester. The gym gains will never be the same again. Speaking of real classes, my biggest priority aside from the gym this semester has been senior design. Senior design is Georgia Tech's industrial engineering capstone, where a team of students work with a client to solve a real-world system problem. My team and I have been working on a warehousing project with Wellstar Health System, and today we're going to their distribution center to deliver our midterm presentation. Thankfully, the Wellstar team has been really supportive and friendly, and our senior design team has made a lot of progress on the project, so I'm not too stressed out for this. Before that though, I gotta clock in for my part-time job at Cyrano Video, which thankfully is just a 5-minute walk from my apartment. Cyrano Video is a startup that helps hospitals and healthcare systems create video-based communications and marketing materials, which coincidentally combines my career and personal interests. I've never worked in a startup environment before, so it's been really cool seeing how fast things can move without all the red tape corporate jobs usually have. It's also been a lot of fun just hanging out with people in the office. Since there aren't that many of us, it feels like we're working on one big group project where everyone's actually contributing something. Plus, when enough people come into the office, we may order lunch for the team, and any leftovers just becomes free game for anyone who wants them, which thankfully covers my lunch for today. Now that brings us to our biggest task of the day, the senior design presentation. Whenever we have to go to the client site, I'll usually meet with my team in the parking lot of the new ISYU building, which is conveniently across the street. Speaking of senior design, let's meet some of the team. Alright, here we are with half of our senior design team. This is kind of the more sane car, not the other car which we won't name.
What are you guys doing for spring break?
I'm working.
Eric.
No. Olga, how about you?
I'll just see where my life takes. I have to sort out some issues.
How do you guys feel about senior design this semester?
Great team, great people, great project.
It's brutal but good.
That's so real.
That's the best way to explain it.
Are we hyped for our interim presentation for Wellstar?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't think I'm allowed to show our actual presentation, so just to be safe, here's a cartoon reenactment of it instead. Alright, we're in the other car this time. We'll call it the G car for family-friendly purposes. How did y'all feel about our presentation?
I think you went pretty well.
Nice.
Fantastic. Everyone did a very great job.
All the difficulties happened during my section.
Yeah, what are you doing, Aaron?
I'm not gonna lie.
It just couldn't handle how much Aaron was talking, that's all it was.
Too much oral.
For real. Also, Aaron, what happened to gym this morning?
Oh, my bad.
How do y'all feel about graduating soon?
Bittersweet.
I'm
Excited?
But I feel like if I get the degree and finish the walking, I'll just feel like I don't know, I feel like a little bit empty.
What?
No, like-
doesn't feel emotion.
JP, you're just like, alright, I'm out of here, let's go. Let me dip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Atlanta.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Most importantly, I'll miss you, Susha.
Aww. Okay, Aaron, any other final thoughts on graduating?
Go Jackets.
I'm glad that I was here, but I'm also glad I'm moving away. So
That is so real. That is so real.
Yikes.
With senior design wrapped up, the rest of my day should be pretty relaxing aside from one more event in the evening. Before that though, I made plans to meet up with my friend Kevin at the student center so we could hang out for a bit before spring break. So rather than watching me rush back to my apartment to change, please enjoy this pre-recorded conversation from earlier in the week with some of my Taekwondo friends. We're out with the Taekwondo freshman year squad. Here we got Alex too. How do you guys feel about getting ready to graduate soon?
I just can't believe I'm returning to a world where people aren't all your age, you know? College campus lifestyle.
I'm excited for the 9-to-5 lifestyle, I think.
The corporate slave lifestyle.
Being a cog in there.
Ever since I was
Corporate
young,
America.
I've always wanted to be a corporate slave.
Alex?
I want a job real bad. I'm looking forward to getting one.
Excited but nervous.
That's the mindset.
That's fair. Coming back to the whole idea of graduating, it's still crazy to me that these were some of my first friends during freshman year, and now we're all getting ready to start living real people lives. We'll get to the reflective part of this video closer to the end. For now, all I want to do is go play some New York Times games with Kevin in the student center. Kevin's a little camera shy, so just imagine he's here on the side while we speedrun connections together. Also, I'm now realizing this is a terrible camera angle. Next on the docket, I'm meeting up with another very important person. Don't tell her I was just with Kevin though, or she might get jealous. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I just had 2 exams, but now I have my cookies and cream milkshake.
Dang, imagine having actual classes this semester. Couldn't be me. How do you feel about getting ready to graduate soon? You'll be here next year too.
Yeah, I'll be here next year for my master's, but it's still kind of like sad because a lot of people will be gone from my first year. But I'm very excited to be done with undergrad, I'll say that.
Nice. My last big task of the day is helping out with an orientation session for this summer's ISYE Asia Study Abroad group. Since last semester, I've been serving as a student ambassador for the Office of International Education, and part of that role has been sharing my experiences from studying abroad last summer. It's been really fulfilling answering questions students have about the program and seeing them get excited for the upcoming summer. It's also been a fun way to reconnect with the organizers of the program and some of the friends I made in Asia. Alright AJ, how did our little info session for the new ISYE Asia people go?
Went well. It was a lot of fun. Kind of wish we had one when we went to ISA.
How do you feel like coming back and like talking to people? I feel old.
I was gonna say old is the perfect way to describe it. I mean, we're about to be out of here.
We'll still be here for a year, but how does that make you feel? You're almost done with 4 years undergrad.
Crazy, like it. I don't want it to end, but also I can't wait to finish senior design.
That is so real.
Coming back from master's, so
yeah,
doesn't have to end just yet.
We'll be here for a bit. For my last stop of the day, I'm going over to Ashika's place to eat dinner, which is a lot easier to do now since we both live in Midtown. Tonight I'm having some chicken kebabs I made earlier in the week with some leftover pasta from Olive Garden. I really can't think of a greater food combination than this. We're at Ashika's apartment now, and we have a special guest here.
Hello.
He's not a tech person, but we'll accept him. He's one of the many good UGA people.
Yep.
Here, Gavin's also graduating this semester. Dental school after?
Yep, head in there in June.
There you go. So how do you feel?
Old. That's my only emotion.
Yeah, that's so real. That's so real. I think Gavin summed it up pretty perfectly. Even with so much to look forward to after graduation, I still feel pretty old after 4 years at the school. And if I'm already feeling this way right now, I don't even know what I'm going to think once I get ready to fully graduate next year. But that's a conversation for another time. All in all, this semester has been a lot of fun, both on the work side and personal side. Because I don't have to take many real classes, it's been rewarding getting to work on unstructured problems through senior design, Cyrano video, and a couple other projects. And since my schedule isn't as rigid as in past semesters, I've had a lot more flexibility to spend quality time on other activities like going to the gym, cooking food, and helping out with other events. But most of all, it's been such a privilege getting to spend time with all the friends I made over the last few years and seeing how we've grown from when we first met. It'll definitely be a little weird next year not having as many people around to hang out with, but that just gives me an excuse to travel to wherever they are and keep the good times rolling. Speaking of travel, I think it's time to wrap this up. We've reached the end of our wonderful day in the life today. It is almost 10:30 and I have a flight tomorrow at 7 a.m. that I'm gonna wake up at like 3:15 for. Yeah, not gonna be the best night of sleep, but it's okay. I'll be home sweet home tomorrow. Definitely need some rest. I'm looking forward to graduating and having a little bit of a break before the summer kicks off. But yeah, speaking of rest, I think it's time for me to call it a night today. So good night, sleep tight, and pray that I don't miss my flight.